Hi, I'm Hayes.
And I'm Layla.
And we're blind. I bet you didn't see that one coming.
Because we didn't either.
Hey everyone, it's Hayes.
Oh. I'm so sorry. We're going to edit this out. This is not going to be in there.
No,
Wait, can we
are
start
not.
again? No.
I have the power.
No, I hate you.
And that is Layla. And that is Layla.
I'm Layla. Hi.
And welcome to our podcast. That was a bit of a longer intro than y'all are used to. But we are going to talk about Braille today, which is basically the way that blind people read. So, you know, we obviously can't just hold a piece of paper in our hands, and unfortunately we don't have like the power to just hold it and just consume all the media through our blind
our nose.
I yeah, you just smell the words.
You just smell the bread in it, yeah.
Yeah, no, we do have our own way of reading, and that's called Braille. Most of y'all have probably seen Braille at some point, like in elevators, or if you go to school, like in front of classrooms, in front of bathrooms. But we just wanted to like talk a little more about it today, you know, our experiences with Braille. But yeah, Layla, would you like to maybe...
Sure. So Braille is essentially a code of raised dots, and it is not a foreign language. I get a lot of people that are like, oh, you know a foreign language because you know Braille. That is not true. And I think
I wish it counted as a language credit.
It'd be really cool if it counted as a language credit. It does not. I think the confusion arises because sign language is considered a foreign language, but that's because the grammar of sign language is so different than normal English or Spanish or really anything. And any deaf people or people that know sign language, correct me if I say anything wrong, because I don't have a lot of experience with that. But print is not a foreign language. Print is the letters that sighted people read. Some people don't know it's called print. So print is not a foreign language. So neither is Braille. Braille is a code, just like print is, for us to read. And it is all based off of one, it's called a cell, a full Braille cell. It's 6 dots. It's 2 columns and 3 rows. So horizontally, there's 2 dots, and there's 3 sets of 2 dots on top of each other to make that cell. I don't know if I made sense, but I know the columns and rows thing is accurate because I thought about it the other night when I was thinking about this episode. And basically, the dots are punched in to the underside of a paper so that they stick up on the top, and you can then feel the raised dots. They just feel like little bumps, and we can read them. And every single letter, number, symbol, anything in Braille is made up of combinations of those 6 dots. So,
yes, this is true. So, you know, like Layla was saying, the Braille cell. So I actually tutor like younger kids a little bit in Braille. I've done that some. Definitely wouldn't say I'm a professional, but it's a lot of fun, you know, just helping little kiddos learn to read. But so one thing that I used as a little kid and I use with kids I work with is a muffin tin. And so if you have it faced the right way, it's just like a rectangular muffin tin, and so like a short side will be facing you, and on a short side there are 2, you know, holes, and then like left or right,
3 going up and down.
3 going up and down, yeah. So, you know, a Braille cell, you could picture that, and then we use tennis balls, and you put like them in the holes, and so if that gives you like a bigger representation. I don't know if that was helpful of like what it would technically look like.
Kinda.
So you put them in different shapes. I don't know. I feel like sometimes it can be helpful to have like that representation of what it would look like. So it would just be that in a lot smaller form, obviously, because, you know, no one is going to be reading Braille or any media for that matter the size of tennis balls.
That would, yes.
Be a lot.
Yeah, that does bring up a point that I want to talk about really fast. Even though Braille is not the size of tennis balls, they're very tiny. I'm trying to think how to compare Braille to another sized object.
It fits under the pad of your finger. So
smaller than a pea.
It is small, But compared to like a print letter, since there are multiple dots, it does take up
they take up more space. I will say for me, I'm a band kid and I read Braille music, which I'm going to talk about more in a minute. Normal sighted people's music books are, thin, normal sized books. I will have a very large book with very large binding of Braille, and I'll have 3 volumes of it to make up their normal sized music book. That's not just music, that's normal Braille. I would say in school, Hayes, correct me if I'm wrong, it's very large.
Oh yeah, 100%. And that's why I would say now a lot more people are using digital Braille because one workbook for school would be split into numerous volumes. A book that maybe if you think of just like a typical textbook that's like pretty heavy and kind of large, you think that's heavy and large, but you wait until you see like how big a Braille book is.
Oh yeah, genuinely like 8 volumes. Yeah, 8 or 10.
Yeah, like crazy amounts. So I think now a lot more people use digital Braille. So I know we talked about Braille display in our episode about technology.
Our technology episode, go check that out if you haven't watched it.
Go watch it. But it just connects to a computer, phone, whatever. I would say a lot more people read Braille with that now versus actually carrying it around because of the size. Because there's just only, you can't make it much smaller than it already is. Like, it already seems small to us.
Sorry, go ahead.
Hard.
There is one way they adapted to make it smaller, and that is contractions. So I know print has what you think of as contractions, which is don't, didn't, can't, I'll, not I'll like ISLE, I''LL. Those are what you think of as contractions. When we say contractions, we mean different combination of dots that have been put together to form 2 or 3 or more commonly used letters, like ER, AR, CH, SH, AND, FOR, OF, etc., etc. There are, I believe, 180 of them.
Yeah, a lot. And then stuff like some letters like G's go. If it's by itself.
G by itself is go. F is from. C is can. So they did adapt to make it a lot smaller than it is. I mean, normal Braille written out is a lot bigger than contracted Braille. So they did adapt that. Contractions are very interesting. And I know, I like them. They're cool.
They do take a little bit to learn, like as a little kid, but then once you get them, they're a lifesaver. Lifesaver.
Genuinely, there are words that I don't know how to spell because I use the contraction.
No, literally.
Like it does kind of impact spelling skills.
Yeah, it took me a while to learn how to spell the word about, not gonna lie.
Oh, because about is just the letters A-B by itself in Braille. Is the word.
Or
about.
Even sometimes I'll be typing on my computer keyboard and I'll catch myself typing the
contraction. I do that all the time. I'll try to type, so the letter L by itself is the word like, and I'll just type L and then put a space and I'll go back and look through my writing and I'll be like, what did I mean here? And I'm like, oh, I meant to type like.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
But that also brings me to a point. So if you're not using a Braille display, if you're trying to actually make something in physical Braille, there is this thing that you can do where it's like a Braille printer called an embosser, and you connect your computer to it and it prints out Braille. But the typical old-fashioned standard way to do it is something called a Brailler. And so I would say, she'll demonstrate in a second if you are still down. But it looks like a typewriter in a way. So, obviously it doesn't have a computer keyboard. It has 6 Braille keys, space bar, backspace, new line.
And a new line key.
But, it does kind of look and sound a bit like a typewriter.
Yes, and I just, honestly, I don't use this very much anymore. I just touched mine, and my keys were, dusty. Because I usually don't even have it on my desk, but I have it for this episode because I figured I might need it. But
it's very loud.
Yeah, ready? This is what this sounds like. And there's no paper in it right now. And it's almost louder with paper, not gonna lie, because the paper that it needs to use is very thick, but that's the space. These are letters. Then we got backspace. I can't do the new line right now. Wait, maybe I can. Hang on. That's new line. We get the embosser. That's the end of the line sound. We got a bell. Then when it goes back to the beginning. So, quite loud. It's also very heavy.
It's very large, very heavy. Wouldn't it be fun to have to carry from like class to class? Like,
yes.
I can't even imagine if I had to carry that up and down the stairs every single day at school.
I think when I stopped using it, I stopped using it in 4th and 5th grade because that was the pandemic and I was home and I had to learn virtual stuff anyway, but I would have stopped anyway because even in like 3rd and 4th grade when I only had 2 classes a day, like it would be like math and then English, like I would switch 4 and those were the only classes I'd use it. Mm-hmm. It was hard to carry them between it. And now I have 4 and Hayes, don't you have like 7?
Yeah, we have 7 in a day.
Yeah. So, cause I'm on a block schedule, and she is not, but I can't imagine doing it now. Yeah, period.
Cause, like, going, like, in some high schools, you're, like, going from building to building, but, like, mine are 3 floors, so, like, going up trying to run up 3 floors of stairs with a brailler in my hand.
Oh, yeah.
Like it would be a safety hazard to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Cause that thing is metal and hitting people
and
with
very
that
large.
would be pretty painful.
Actually, they do make plastic ones.
They
have
do?
new
I haven't
ones.
seen those in years.
I know, I forgot about those. They are newer. They are narrower and they don't use 11 by 11 paper, which is what I don't like. They can only use 8.5 by 11 Braille paper. But they are plastic ones. They are slightly quieter. And they are a lot yes, they are a little bit quieter.
Older ones.
No, I think those are the newer ones.
Oh, really?
Are they?
Okay.
They're slightly quieter and slightly lighter. I don't like them. I don't like them.
No? Oh,
Not to anyone who uses that brailler or if an employee of whatever brailler is watching this, no offense to you, I prefer the normal Perkins metal.
Yeah, braillers are made by Perkins.
Atrocity over here.
Fun fact, Perkins is a school that Helen Keller went to. In
Massachusetts?
Who make braillers. Yep.
Or in Boston?
School.
I have not been there. I want to go there. If anyone from Perkins wants to come on our podcast.
Yeah, seriously.
Let us know.
Awesome. But yeah, so, I think it would also be pretty disruptive for the students in class. I'm sure that kind of probably annoyed them at times, but you gotta learn as a blind person, but now it's just so much easier.
It's easier to use virtual. And then also I want to bring up the point of your teachers. So I know any teachers that watch this of either of us, you'll know you did not have to learn Braille to teach us. So Braillers add an extra step if you're brailing your work to have it go to someone, usually your teacher of the visually impaired, that knows Braille to write print and write out your answers to then go back to the teacher to grade it. Whereas virtual, you can just hit turn in and it goes straight to the teacher, just like any other student doing it virtual or doing it on paper and just, dropping it on their desk or whatever.
And it just shows in print.
Yes. And virtual would be, in print. And I would say most of us know how to type, using a QWERTY keyboard. Mm-hmm. That's not, we do understand the concept of print letters, so.
Sometimes.
Well, I know all of my uppercase print letters and about half of my lowercase ones.
I do not.
Yeah, that's not a universal blind thing, but I just think it's interesting.
For sure.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was going to mention really quick, you were talking about teachers for the visually impaired. Mm-hmm. So those are people who exclusively work with blind and visually impaired students. Mm-hmm. We'll have to have one on the podcast. But
we were going to today. But
yeah, we were going to.
She was busy.
She was busy.
It's okay.
Come on, Allie.
Yeah, we forgive you, Allie. You can come on eventually.
She's like my family friend at this point. She's been my TV guy for so long. I swear I'm not disrespectful like that to all my teachers.
Oh, yeah. We know you are, Hayes.
My teachers like me.
Hayes' teachers that are definitely watching this episode, you should comment and tell us how bad she is in class.
Oh, wow.
And then we can blackmail her.
That's so mean. Okay, sorry. But, so, yeah, they exclusively work with blind students, and so that's typically who teaches a blind student how to read
Braille.
And write Braille.
Yeah, and usually type in print, too. My TVI taught me how to type.
Oh, yeah, same. Mm-hmm.
Which I know most kids go to a typing, computer class to learn how to type. That's not the normal,
do they do that anymore?
Learn. Yeah. In elementary school, you go to computer.
Wait, actually? My school never taught us how to type.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, I feel like no one learned how to touch type anymore. It's kind of sad.
That is sad.
Anyways, they do not read Braille with their fingers, however. they can just look
They
at
can
it
read it with
and
their
read
eyes.
it with their eyes.
It's just possible.
Yeah.
Unless they're a blind TVI, then you can read it with your fingers. Just like
And there
this.
are, I've never met one, but there are blind TVIs out there.
There are. I know, so she's not my TVI anymore. She's my O&M teacher now, orientation and mobility, which will be covered in a future episode, probably. But there was one day she was my TVI and I said, can you try reading it with your fingers? Like close your eyes and try to read it with your fingers. And she could, but it was very hard. So that brings me to another point. A lot of people say, well, are your fingers like more sensitive or are they like calloused from reading Braille or whatever? And they're definitely not calloused. Like I don't have like finger bumps. But I definitely would say like you have to become more sensitive just to know what it feels like.
Yeah, for sure.
Simply knowing what it like looks like isn't always enough, I guess I would say.
Yeah, agreed.
So yeah, that is a question I get a lot. And I also get, do your fingers get tired? And why I like to say, well, your eyes get tired when you read for a long time, don't they? And they always are like, yeah, I guess. So I'm like, that's how mine are as well.
Yeah,
I don't know if you would
sometimes
agree
if I'm
with that.
reading for a while, like because the way you're reading, your fingers are down and a lot of times your wrists are up so you can easily move your hands. That is probably the biggest thing for me is like my wrists will get tired.
Oh, really?
After reading? Yeah. Have you never had that?
No, my fingers, I have to like flex my fingers, but my wrists never get tired. Maybe it's because I play clarinet and a lot of that's holding it with your hands, and my wrists are usually engaged. So
well, they don't get tired, but like I get like carpal tunnel. You know what that is?
Yes, that's funny.
Okay, I get that.
Sorry,
and
it's
it's
not
like,
funny, but
no, it's fine. It's like not fun, and
I'm sorry, Hayes.
So just like some people's like eyes don't deal with it as well. Like they're
apparently Hayes.
I think I've also cut my fingers on Braille actually.
What? How does that work? It's not sharp. I don't know how that happened.
I was reading with my Braille display, and I was like really into this book, and so I read like for
Rose like grinding down
2-3 hours straight. And
what
then,
book
like,
was it?
I don't even remember.
Oh, must not have been good.
I got kind of into it, and then like I just like afterward realized that my finger was like, it wasn't like cut like it was bleeding, but it was like, just had a little like cut in it.
Like a raw spot.
Like it actually had like a skin tear.
Hayes, you read your skin off. That's
Really
crazy.
But
dedicated
apparently
blind person right there.
So what probably happens is I read too hard, and that's why my wrists and
yeah. Also, question: a lot of blindies comment this. What fingers do you read with? Do you read with all your fingers?
Good question. Do you read with 4, right?
I read with 4 on each hand, even though I cannot distinguish Braille with my pinkies. Okay. My pinkies are just kind of there. But all of my other 3 fingers I can read Braille with perfectly fine on their own. My pinkies I can't. But I have all 4 fingers kind of spread out on the page right before left, and I read with both hands.
I just use my 2 pointer fingers. I only ever learned to read with my pointer fingers.
How do you balance?
But I'm going to be honest, my right pointer finger can't really distinguish Braille that well. My left can for some reason, though.
Really?
And it's really annoying because the right one should be better because it's going ahead.
It's going first.
But it really doesn't work that well for me. I don't know why. But yeah, I never learned the method of doing with multiple fingers. And like I feel like that would be harder to learn now.
Yeah. Like I couldn't do it with just my pointer fingers.
Yeah.
Now. But I feel like that's also, so you can look up a lot of studies, and a lot of studies show that blind kids read slower, like words per minute, than sighted kids. And I think that's just because like so many fingers and your right hand's going before your left, and it's just more to process, I think, is why. I don't know, I might be wrong about that. But
because you can also pretty much only read like one character at a time. Like you may get a little more with using multiple fingers, but like as a sighted person, you can see the shape of a whole word
and just
and read it like that. As a Braille reader, you have to read every single character, every single word, every single line, which also means you can't skim.
Yeah, skimming in Braille is impossible.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of times that'll just like, take longer, which obviously, isn't a big deal.
It's okay.
We still have to read, but I think that's also why a lot of blind people tend to use audio because Braille is great, but it can also be time consuming because it's just different and but Braille's still great. I know you wanted to talk about music Braille some, which
Oh,
is
Braille
something I
music,
haven't really had
yeah.
experience with, so...
Okay. Didn't you learn it? Don't you know it?
I know a little bit, but
Okay.
I don't know that much.
Well, so I'm in band. I'm a band kid. If you don't know by now, we literally interviewed my marching band guide on the podcast a couple weeks ago. So go watch that episode.
She did great.
Go watch that episode.
Shout out to Melanie.
Yeah, shout out to Melanie. We love you. Go watch the episode of her being on the podcast. But anyways, all that to say, I read Braille music every day in band class, in marching band, in jazz band, in youth orchestra. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm such a band kid. So Braille music is different than print. If you know anything about print music, you know that they have a staff and a clef that shows where the notes are on the staff. I don't have a staff. Braille has different symbols for each note, and then there's a space between each measure, and it's just line by line. You read left to right, line over line over line, just like you would read normal Braille or normal print. And what people ask is, well, can you read and play your instrument at the same time? The short answer is yes, but only certain notes. And that helps that I play clarinet, and so a lot of notes I can play with one hand.
Yeah,
but
I cannot do that with guitar.
Oh yeah. A lot of notes I can play with one hand, but I memorize my music because there are quite a lot more notes that I can't play with one hand than ones that I can, which I can get through almost the whole octave of a scale. So basically I can play every note, but to play in the correct octave, a lot of things require two hands, and I'm nerding out right now. But I do memorize my Braille music, but I love Braille music. It's a little bit harder to learn because the symbols are a lot different from literary Braille, but they're like, it'll use letters for different notes, but it's different letters for different notes. I don't know if that's making sense, but a lot of blind people find it really hard to go from literary Braille to music Braille. And honestly, you just kind of have to flip a switch in your mind. But I would say it's a valuable skill to have. Any blind musicians that are on here that do, especially ensemble play. I mean, even I would recommend it for solo playing as well. It's a lot faster than by ear for most people, unless you have perfect pitch. I also have perfect pitch, and even I prefer Braille music than identifying notes by ear. But I would recommend it for any blind musician. Learn Braille music if you can. It's very convenient.
Yeah, I did not do that, but I think it is definitely a cool skill to have.
Yeah.
One more thing I also wanted to mention was with Braille, you do need a flat surface to read it on. Just a quick disclaimer and reminder to anyone who did not know. A laptop keyboard does not count as a flat surface to read it on. I found that out the hard way during my PowerPoint presentation year. You can go find that. I think I told that story on a prior episode.
It was the high school episode, I believe.
The first one we ever did. But yeah,
first episode we ever did.
It did switch slides on me mid-presentation in front of the whole class. That was fun. But basically, all this to say, Braille is something that you can't just, sighted people read, like, all over the place. Like, they'll just be, like, standing up reading something. That's definitely not as easy to do. Like, I couldn't just walk around my house, like, reading a book because... First off, you have to read with two hands if you really want to be, like, quick.
Fast, yeah.
But also, you have to have, like, a flat surface to prop it on since you're moving your fingers over it. It's not something you can just, like, do, like, anywhere. So you need a surface.
So I do, really quick, not to contradict you, because I definitely agree, I do have a hack. If you have to read it standing up. And this might not work for everyone, but it works for me. I flip it upside down, facing away from me, and like the top pointing toward the ground. And I put it against my body. Yeah. And then read from the bottom up. It's just like reading from the top up if it was facing you. But since it's facing away from you, you read from the bottom up, pressed against your body. You can basically read it like that. And you definitely will read a lot slower, but you can get the information if you ever have to. That's what I do.
Yeah, for sure. You can do that. It's just definitely not the most efficient.
Oh yeah, you really do need a flat surface. Like just how sighted people have to write on a flat surface, we have to read on a flat surface. And pretty much write too, because you can't just like put a brailler on the wall and then like...
It doesn't float. I mean,
sadly, I wish it did. You could.
A hanging brailler would be cool.
Hanging brailler would be cool, but you'd have to have hooks on either side because I feel like if you just hung it from the middle, it would like swing.
That would be that actually sounds really fun.
I know, let's do it.
hanging Braille challenge.
Yeah, let's do the hanging. Oh, speaking of Braille challenge, there's a competition called the Braille Challenge. People compete in literacy skills. It's just like any sighted person's reading competition, but it's for blind people. We're going to make a hanging Braille challenge.
Proofreading,
charts and graphs, and speed and accuracy, which is writing.
You have to like copy a Braille text that you're listening
to.
Speed and copy accuracy. The text in Braille.
Mm-hmm. But now we're going to make a hanging Braille challenge, guys. You have to do it all with a hanging Brailler.
That would be so fun.
Hanging donut eating, but hanging Braille writing. You know those hanging donut eating contests? Yeah.
But, thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you learned some about Braille. If you ever have any questions, remember to comment. We're doing a Q&A. We talked about that in our last
We are doing a Q&A
episode, but will post that.
It should be posted by now.
It should be.
By the time this is coming out, it should be posted.
But if not, we will post it on YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah,
Go check out our last episode to find our email. We're not going to give it to you now because we want you to watch our last.
Oh wait,
girl, we want.
Yeah, no, never mind. We want. Well, no, but we want questions for our Q&A. I'm going to give it to you because I'm nice. Our email is didn't see that coming. DINT, no apostrophe. SEE. Oh, did I say DINT? My bad, guys.
Here's proof of
this is a sign that we shouldn't be. Okay. Anyways, DIDNTSEETHAT.PODCAST@gmail.com.
Wait, podcast 123, I think.
Oh my god, guys. Okay, can you edit that out?
It's been a long, I will. It's been a long day. It's okay.
Yeah, okay, wait. Okay, so our email is didn't see that coming, DIDNT, no, there's no apostrophe, SEETHAT.PODCAST123@gmail.com. If you want me to say that again, it's didn't see that coming, DIDNTSEETHAT.PODCAST123@gmail.com. So that's our email. You can comment.
You can email us, comment here
on Spotify or YouTube.
Comment on YouTube,
Spotify
Instagram.
or YouTube or Instagram or DM us on Instagram.
You can do that too. But yeah, we're going to do a Q&A. So, if you have any questions, let us know.
Also, if you would like to include your name with the question, if you would like a little shout out or to be recognized, then we can say, obviously we won't be like your full name and address and social security number and all the things, but if you'd like to say your name and get recognized, you can. I don't think we have any more shout outs for this episode.
I don't think so.
Because we just filmed the last one where we did this shout out. But anyways, you guys know by now these are recorded all together. And oh my goodness, did you just hear that?
No.
Okay, I don't know what that noise was in my background, but anyway.
Yeah, sorry, we have a lot of background noise in our virtual episodes.
Yeah, it's okay.
We're both just filming, in our bedrooms.
In our rooms, yeah.
It's very professional, y'all.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening. Share with your friends and family. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, follow.
5-star rating on Spotify.
5-star rating on Spotify. Follow
Get it out
us
to
on
more
Instagram.
people.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for watching. We won't see you later.